homesteading, permaculture, organic, biodynamic, regenerative agriculture. Whoa, there's so many different words we're using to describe pretty much very similar things. And we're getting pretty caught up about what those words mean when it really doesn't matter. We're mostly walking in the same direction, so I don't find those words particularly helpful to the conversation. We do need to use these words because of the internet age, and we need to sort of put things into a category so we can actually find what we're looking for. But in general, those terms don't really help us that much. So we're talking about homesteading today, and what does that actually mean? Well, if you've been watching lots of homesteading YouTubes, you might think that to be a real homesteader, you need to have 10 acres, 6 homeschooled kids, live in the middle of nowhere, and be trying to make absolutely everything yourself from your land. Or you might think that you have to have a bunch of money in your back pocket, move out of the city, and spend all that money setting up the perfect, beautiful homestead. Well, you can do that if you can. If you're like me, you just want to know if you can fit into this homesteading space. And I'm here to tell you that if you're interested in producing things for yourself, then absolutely you can homestead. Now let's look at things that you can do to get growing and producing right where you are, whether that is in the city or whether that is with 10 acres out in the countryside. My first tip to start homesteading might sound a bit strange, and that is don't grow anything. Don't grow anything at all. Don't try and have a garden. Don't try and have chickens. And you're like, what? What are you talking about? Well, homesteading is not just about that foundational level. It's also about building the skills to know what to do with those things that you might be growing. So doing things like learning how to can and dehydrate, preserving your food, cooking from scratch from raw ingredients and turning those ingredients into other ingredients to keep making your meals better and better. Learning how to bake your own bread from scratch. All of these things are really important skills that we can build for just being more capable human beings that are less reliant on supermarkets and systems outside of our control. So heading down to your local farmer's market, learning about what things are in season and learning how to turn those base ingredients into something even better is an essential homesteading skill that you can start right now wherever you are. If you want to start actually growing things, grow bags, fabric grow bags are your friend. They come in all sorts of different sizes and they fit in pretty much anywhere you have a space. They're easy to fill, they're really easy to grow in. And when you're finished growing in them for like the end of the season, or you just are changing, or you can't deal with something for that moment in time, they squish down for storage so you don't have stacks and piles of pots everywhere. So grow bags, excellent for small space growing and large space growing too. So highly recommend you check those out. Once you've got your grow bag game on and you want to level up your gardening skills, you can look at putting garden cloches or like little mini greenhouse cover type things on your gardening spaces so that you can grow through most of the seasons. You can do summer gardening and winter gardening, whether you need to shade cover or plastic cover your growing space. So that gives you more opportunity out of a small space to just keep on growing in it. So mini greenhouse or cloche over your garden space will help you keep growing more from a small space. And another thing you can do for a small space is learn how to start seeds. Starting seeds successfully is not an easy skill to pick up. It takes time and practice and a lot of learning about all the different plants and how they germinate and how you're successful. You don't need a lot of space to learn how to start seeds, and you can give your extra plants away to other people to start building your gardening community around you, which is just a beautiful way to start weaving these sorts of systems through our everyday lives. It's also possible to keep small livestock in small spaces, and the smallest that I can think of are worms. So you can have a worm farm. Worm farms can be kept inside if you need to have them inside or outside. They can be on a balcony, they can be in lots of different spaces, and that's a great way to start working some animal husbandry into your systems. If you've got the space, you can have chickens. Chickens don't need that much room to be happy, but if you don't have the room for chickens, you could have quail or rabbits or guinea pigs. They're all really good ways to start weaving animal benefits into your gardening system and improving the quality of your food with less external inputs that you need to go and buy. If you have some small animals in your system, you can also become a recycler of organic matter. By that I mean if you've got chickens or worms or quail, even rabbits, just be careful about what you feed your rabbits, but you can gather organic wastes from your neighbors, from cafes, from places around you, and recycle that through your system. So you're getting benefits for you in terms of food for your animals or feedstuffs for your compost if you're going to do a composting system, and you're building relationships with your community and stopping that organic matter from just getting trashed into landfill. So really good ways of keeping the systems working together there. If people think creatively about the spaces they could use for growing, even in a very urban, densely populated area, there are lots and lots of spaces. Balconies, rooftops, windowsills, pretty much anywhere that there has some sunlight, you can get growing. And if everyone, recruit your neighbors, recruit your friends, if everyone starts just growing what they can in the spaces that they have, it really starts to make a big difference to the feel of the place where you're living. So think about where you can put things and just start growing there. Even flowers for the bees is a huge benefit to your city or your town, wherever you're living. So it doesn't have to be growing tomatoes. It could be growing beautiful flowers, and that is really helping the bees and other pollinators to help the whole system. So you're still giving huge benefits to the world, no matter what it is you can grow. If everyone living, wherever they happen to be living, even in densely populated urban areas, started to produce a portion of their own vegetables and fruits and small livestock and eggs and things like that, then collectively that would add up to a huge amount of food production. We might need a different word, not homesteading, but townsteading or city-steading. I don't know. But it would really help in terms of freeing up farmland that's currently needing to be used for growing berries and vegetables and things like that people can grow for themselves. And that land can be put into staple crop production, like grains and things like that, which are difficult to produce at a small scale. And because we don't need to use so much land for all of the things people can make for themselves, that land can be put into systems that help the ecosystem more. It doesn't have to be so pressured on food production. So we can turn those systems into agroforestry or more, just better ways of growing. Let's take the word back. Everyone is a homesteader. It's not exclusive to someone with their 20 acres and their tractor and their overalls and their cows. Whether you bake or grow or do anything, you are homesteading. And if we all start doing these things for ourselves, the world becomes a smaller and better place.